I'm Rodd Duff, your host.
And I'm producer Barbie.
And together,
we bring you our podcast,
Insights and Straight Talk. And with that, producer Barbie and I are out. What's up, brothers and sisters, and sisters, and sister brothers, and moms and dads, and everybody else? How y'all doing today? Had a great weekend. If you saw the shows on Saturday, well, first of all, as you know, this is Insights and Straight Talk. You wouldn't be here unless you did know that, unless you came across it by accident. And then in that case, telling you the name right out of the gate doesn't really matter, does it? So another disappointing start. I'm really wanting to talk about this subject, but Simon is a no-show so far. Just so tempted to say nasty things about him, because if you're an educator, last thing you want to educate is to be late for a show, right? Or anything. What's the old saying in sports? If you're on time, you're late. I ask everybody to come 7 minutes early. And the reason I do that is for your guys' time, because you guys are here for a reason, and that's to pick up the information and the education. We're the guests, the expert guests of our shows, partake upon our audience, and you are our family, and you are watching the show as evident. I'm going to try and see a couple of things. I'm going to try and give this a shot, because I'm going to show you something, especially if he doesn't come in the next couple of minutes. But I am going to show you something that his program that he's hopefully going to talk about today, now that it's 7 minutes after our start time. But hey, what are you going to do? And he sent an email back. I felt so good about it, because I asked people, please acknowledge receipt of this email, which is, so I post the link on our Matchmaker FM, and then I say I will also email you a link, the same link with additional instructions. On the Matchmaker FM, I put please arrive at least 7 minutes early. We have some things to go over, and our audience is waiting, and their time's important to me and to them, obviously. Then I send the email and I say, please acknowledge receipt of this email, which also says, please arrive 7 minutes early. Some bitch acknowledge receipt of this email, and didn't show, or hasn't shown anyway. I just get so frustrated. I want to give people an opportunity to come on this show, because some people just don't want to pay money. I don't know if they can't afford it, if it's not worth it, or whatever. But you know, I'm going broke doing the show, which is fine. I mean, it's my choice. I'm here doing what I love to do and what's important in this world to be done. But I also find out that, you know, every once in a while it happens. If somebody has a little skin in the game, then they show up for sure. I mean, there's been a couple of weird situations, but when they don't, it's just like, oh, okay, I have something that came up, or I have this, or I have that, or I just forgot about it. And I've done that, so I can't, not everybody's perfect, but my God. It's just like time after time after time, and I have to deal with the stress, and then I have to refigure out how I got to redo this show. It's my son. I'm gonna put him on the show. Hey, Brandon, you're on my broadcast of my show. Say hi to everybody. Do you want me to give you a call back? You got something going on? I'm just actually doing a broadcast about the education system, but my guest is late, so I'm filling time. All right, we got 47 people on. Say bye to them all. This is my son, guys. All right, love you. Call you back. All right, so here, what I'm going to do, because I think this is important, although honestly, Simon is not, dude begged me to come on, and now he no-shows me. I hope I'm not doing something wrong. If somebody comes on, you guys are all here. So, I mean, you and I think, are in all the right place, and we're at the right time. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, I would think. Let me go to my YouTube. This might give me a little laggy, so excuse this for while I mess around with this experiment. Open up as much bandwidth as I can. Then I'm going to come over here to YouTube. Why? Oh, well, it's playing right now. What am I saying? It's got to be on. I didn't redo Instagram, so Instagram, we got a problem with it. That's too bad. We're having trouble because I didn't put on the new link. But we got 66 people here, and I'm going to go on to Simon's, his main account, or not his main account, but I'm going to put that over here, and I'm going to come over here to number 4. I'm going to put Simon up here. This is our guest today, and he is the founder and CFO, or he's supposed to be our guest. He's our ghost guest. Simon, and I'm going to start getting nastier and nastier about people. So they either don't come on the show or quit wasting my fucking time and your fucking time. Co-founder, CFO, organizational catalyst, and hard question lover. I got a few hard questions for you there, Simon. Kind of pissed off at you, buddy. Dedicated my time to help. Well, what about my time? What about my audience's time? To love learning and growing more. So all of that's there. That's cool. But here's the thing I want you to see, because it's so, and you'll see why it so aligns with what we're doing here. Or past this, we're going to turn this down. So I'm going to skip the ad. This is his ad that he has out. And I'm going to be quiet and listen to this. All right, so I'm going to come back to me now for a second. I'm going to put that on pause. About halfway through. I know I almost feel like I'm being a little bit of a commercial here, but I want to express the fact that coming up here, you'll now see where I'm getting at. The Regeneration School project is something that's dynamically growing. I should be meeting with the owner of a radio station today, tomorrow. I'm not sure yet. I'm waiting. He had reached out to me. I had actually reached out to him. Long story, several people in a row have reached out to each other to get to the point where this radio station and I are now communicating. The owner of this radio station and I are now communicating. And the reason we're doing that is because I am going to start. So right now we're broadcast. Well, Instagram, we had a trouble. That's my fault. I didn't put on redo the streaming key, because once you break the connection, oh, he showed up. Wow, he showed up, guys. Can you believe? I don't know. I probably shouldn't let his ass on. You can hear me. This is why I'm doing this. But we're about 10 minutes in to our show right now. I'm going to put back on the thing I was just showing, and then I'm going to, I can't do it that way, because we really have to go through some things, Simon, and we have 145 people on here, and it's a very tough situation to try and explain how the show goes when you're late. And I always ask to be 7 minutes early, and you even acknowledge the email. So enough crap I'm giving you now, but this is why I don't like having guests free on, because when they got a little skin in the game, they tend to show up on time. So let's go ahead and finish with your commercial, Simon. and I may get to you. I don't know yet. I'm debating on this because your message is important to me, and you'll see why in a second. And I'm very frustrated I didn't get to start to show off properly to give you the right credit you deserve. I'm going to remove that. Remove that. I'm going to go back to number 4. And sorry, number 4. And I'm going to bring this back on. And I'm going to play. So we're coming back here to number 1, and reason we're going about this way. I don't see Simple Simon. Very good name, by the way. I don't know how much you know about the show, Simon, but I'm going to talk to my community here. We got about 145 people on now. Disregard everything I said before because I want you. I know you're there, Simon. I see your hands going back and forth. I know you're sitting in the green room because you're fucking 15 minutes late. So don't give me all I'm kind of still pissed off at you. I'm going to get past that before I let you on. What role does CFO experience play in shaping better schools? See, Simon, we could be talking about this if you're on time, but I'm going to go through some things before we do that. Reason you're here, Simon, is because my community here and I are really driving a subject that's dear and very important to us. I don't know how much you know about this or not, but we have a program that we relocated here from Chicago, Illinois, in here to Mangum, Oklahoma, because we're creating a pilot program, or we're working on it. We're not there yet. We've got a long way to go. The city library has decided to sponsor us and let us set up an entire studio in their game room, connecting with the teenagers of the town, because we have a regeneration school project. I know your project basically starts from the from the high school age on up. We also want to include that, but we're talking about finding voices for kids. We have every Saturday I do a show with my granddaughter. It's called Insights and Straight Talk with Emma Lynn and Grandpa Rodd. Obviously, I'm Grandpa Rodd. Everybody here on the show knows about it because I know they're here to hear about this educational program. 13 minutes in, and we've already got 145 people, and we've got 17 questions. And few of them I know, some of them I don't. Bradley Pump, you're here, brother. I'm giving you a shout out, Bradley. So I may let you on, Simple Simon, but I'm gonna get through my side here and hopefully give you enough of a setup so that you understand why you're here, and we don't have to go through all the boring stuff of why you're supposed to be early, so that we can go through the stuff that we talk about. This is not an interview. This is a simple conversation. Just like if you were late to my party, I'd be a little pissed off at you, and we'd be having this conversation at the front door. So come on in, Bradley, Bradley Pump, and let's have some fun. But Simon, I'll be talking to you here in a minute. I just want to express on the fact of how we're doing this project, in that what we're doing is we are right now working off the 9 episodes that my granddaughter and I have started, which has kind of created this interest in having teens have their voice, find their voice, get their voice. We have about 400 or 500 people on every Saturday. This last time we got up to as many as 642, and then kind of leveled off somewhere in the high 5s, low 6s. But anyway, my point being is that there's a real thirst for this because we're moving in a time of AI, and there's not a lot of room for us not developing as a human species, as the human experience, so to speak. And part of that goes into the fact that we need to get rid of the mental health that exists at such high numbers, more and more and more climbing each day. And I believe, and more than a few people, if not most people, believe a lot of that mental health has to do with maybe parents not having the tools to raise their teens or kids and get into conversations that don't just, hey, I'm raising you, I'm parenting you, I'm teaching you. If I don't have those tools, then we either have a school system that supports the family or recently has done different things. Let's just say that. Simon here has a system, as I was just showing you guys. I did that so I could not necessarily help. Oh, you even walked off stage there, Simon. Yep. Nope. You're just leaning over. I see you there. All right. I'm going to be harassing you a little bit, boy. So let's go through and let's get some gentleman by the name of Simon on the air with us here. I did this unfairly, Simon, but you should hear me. I think you should know you're on stage. There you are. Why do you have what's that little thing next to you? You have yourself muted. You have yourself muted.
So
I'm not muting you.
No, I know. So you can see how dangerous it is, Rodd, when you let a former school principal have way too much time during COVID.
Oh, okay. So you built
having to find a way to get the voices in his head out into something that went around the hands, heart, and head of a young middle-class person who had no effing doubt that they deserved the C-suite as much as anyone else. And for wasting your and your team's time.
Well, it's not my team, it's the people in the audience. It's them.
Dude, they're here. So here's rule one. You know? Here's rule one in my dojo, Rodd. In my dojo, we don't interrupt.
Excuse me. Then you got to leave, because in my show, that's part of the show. So if you don't like me interrupting, get the hell off my show. Okay.
So I love being interrupted.
This isn't your dojo. This is my audience's dojo, Simon. You're not starting off too good here, brother. Come on. You got to get it together. Look, this is about the kids. This isn't about you or your company. This is about the kids. Let's back up and let's readjust.
Do you want me to show Rodd? Look, you brought me tons of energy, and I really deeply apologize for wasting your time.
Not my time, my audience's.
I wasted your audience's time. That's even worse. That's why I want to send you, on behalf of them, $500, because I wasted their time. I am a working class man. I've dedicated every year.
Wait. Hold on. You're going to send me $500? Did you just say that?
Rodd, I work for people who have the problem of billionaire problems. They hire me at astonishing rates, a middle-class dude from middle-class town in rural effing America. Please accept my apology. Now I'm going to send you $1,000 because I'm wasting your time and your audience's time. Let me tell you, as a teacher who walks into a classroom with convicts, as a 22-year-old, the shit you're throwing at me is fine. You're pissed. Your audience is pissed. I'm ready to talk about dollars to wallets anytime you are, and I'm going to go on mute until my apology is sufficient to you and your audience.
All right. Well, you can come off of mute. You want to give $1,000 towards the Regeneration School project? I'll get you my email address, and I got to be honest with you, at this point in time, as my power is being, that's why the public, I've been doing this off my savings for 1.5 years, and I'm running out. So if you're willing to buy my silence, you have all my you have all my attention in the world, my friend. I'll give you my the company's email, PayPal email. So we'll get back to that. Let me get some questions up here. You ready?
Sir, I'm ready.
Or let's do this. Hold on. Let's do this. Let's go back to the way we normally do the show. First question for you. Do you have a hard stop? Because we're like 20 minutes just starting off now. Usually an hour and a half to 2.5
Look, man, there's nothing. I've already wasted so much time. I'm going to wipe my calendar for the next 4 hours. If that's what it takes, I feel like
if
your
it
audience
goes that line, God bless you,
I'm
man.
hardcore. I'm hardcore, Rod.
Okay.
Because if there weren't people like you who still believed in America and what this represents, we're toast.
You're 100% true, man. You're 100%
We're
true.
screwed
Then
without you, man. We are screwed without people like you who put skin in the game and their audience's time to bring them something real.
Okay. All right. I buy into you. I got you. I feel you. So far, so good. Let's not ask questions yet, though. Simon, let's do this. We're going to get into your box here. But let's get into this. This is how I like to normally start the show. You're on a mission, obviously a very great mission. Obviously a mission I was like, oh, hell, at all costs, I got to get him on. Because basically our journeys are side by side. I might want to start a little bit younger than you, but got to be careful because we also don't want, 0 to 5, their personalities are developing. I don't know if we want to affect that from the outside. There's stuff to talk about. But from that point to high school and beyond, that teenage, given a voice, all the things you're talking about, we want to create a 5th core in school, subject. There's math, history, English, science, and then there's life. There's schools right now teach you how to do tests. This is life. Go ahead. So, what's your story before the story? How'd you get here?
Sure. I mean, to be honest, I was born outside. I was born in a field.
What?
I was born in a field and I lived in a field for most of 2 years in the early 70s.
Okay.
I was born and I lived al fresco in a highly unorthodox environment that required extreme degrees of self-sufficiency and self-organization. It ranged between the best thing and chaos.
Yeah. Okay, I like that. You're obviously an educator. The mind's going, why? Why were you there?
Because my parents believed that middle-class life was more practical in rural America in the 70s than anywhere else. And they were going to stake their livelihoods on that bet.
Okay.
And they made that bet with this tool chest that carries the tools that my parents used across 50 years to build and run an ongoing business that my brother and I had a front row seat to them building. And I can give you you can see their stuff. My mom's work is in the Smithsonian. So she doesn't F around and waste people's time like I wasted your audience's time.
Whoa. Okay. So a pill chest, that's a pill chest?
So this is a 19-teens oak wood chest made by craftsmen in Dayton, Ohio.
Ooh.
For a man of middle-class standing like my grandfather, my father's father, this was his identity. This was his badge as a tool and die machinist who at that time in industrial America was very valuable. He was raised dirt poor as an outside Quebec French-speaking immigrant. And the man died with $500,000 and a little old Porsche, and he lived like a king. I live to help other people feel that exact same way by taking care of their nervous system through a tracker like this. Your audience has got these things. It's a health tracker. It's not magic. If you treat yourself,
you mean like this?
Yes, exactly like that.
Okay.
If you
That's the ring version. Gotcha.
Right. You can accept people who hate on middle-class America. You can accept their bullshit, their demeaning of you. And you can learn to survive that at extraordinary levels. How do we know? Because we all had shit ancestor jobs that we saw our ancestors doing. That's how we know.
That's true. That's true. And we're trained to do. Disagree with me if I'm wrong. We're also trained all the way through the educational system to be that.
No, we're indoctrinated to rely on it.
Better way to put it. Absolutely right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
This is why I'm so psyched to be on your show, Rod. I saw your stuff. I spent half an hour watching your videos. And I was like, oh my God, if I'm not going to be one thing, it's late.
All right. Hey, I'm going to hold you to that. It's a key time right now.
And I'm watering my grass. And I'm like, I'm either going to have my wife up my ass for doing a bad job watering, or I'm going to hold up the recording. And my wife won. That might help some of the moms in your audience feel like, dang, okay, at least this guy is honest enough to know who wears which pants in a household.
100%. Not only that, but I gave you 15 minutes of crap. She's going to give you another 15 years of crap if you don't.
Dude. And guess who I'm getting in bed with tonight? And it's not you.
It ain't me. Hey, where do you live, by the way?
I live in a wild part of America. If I could turn my camera around, you would.
Northeast, don't you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. It's beautiful. Beautiful in the Northeast.
Yes, sir.
I now live in Oklahoma. I moved from Chicago to here.
So my goal is to visit Oklahoma City because a young entrepreneur's family is from there. And this young man is legendary at his college. On 2 occasions, he and his team won the college-wide entrepreneurship pitch contest.
Ooh.
And I had the privilege to coach them. And so now I hang with their parents because intergenerational exchange and its lack in our country is killing us through our schools almost every day.
100%. So this dude's out of Oklahoma City. I'm only an hour and a half away from there. I'm in the southwest corner of Oklahoma City. I haven't been there yet, except driving here a couple times.
Okay.
Beautiful town. You ever been there? It's beautiful.
I drove through it once.
Oklahoma's amazing.
So I drove through it once, and I made, like, I saw what it was, the Killer Moon movie. So I know how gorgeous it is.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. I mean, I didn't know this, but anyway, it's there's a whole new flavor of this show that has gone on because of this move. And I did this because this is the middle class, right?
Yeah.
The show's about the middle class.
Yeah.
Where more in the middle heartland of America could you be besides this area, Oklahoma? I did that. Also, my grandkids are just over the border in Texas. I was landlocked when I had my machinery business. I built a machinery business over 30 years. And but I was landlocked there, and everybody's moving out to much better places, to be honest with you. And now I live on the edge of heaven. I never would have ever thought about moving. I've never lived in a small town, but this school regeneration program, it's like this mission. I think you have the same thing that
we do. That's
feel
precisely 100%.
Because it's like every time I want to veer off and it just pulls me back to here, and it's like I can feel that I'm supposed to be here. I'm doing the. I mean, I started asking my granddaughter about, I don't know, 8 months into it, just out of the blue. I say, hey, why don't you do a show with me? Because she and I have a really good relationship. I say, hey, do the show. Why don't you jump on? She's like, nah, I don't want to do that. No. And then I saw she did a couple of little social media things. So I would say, hey, that's really good. And then all of a sudden I said, you know what? I got to make her do this. I don't know why. I have no idea why, but I made her do it. And so that started. And then the Regeneration School project came. And then when I saw your thing, I'm like, dude, it's like I'd be feeding into you almost, as part of, and like you said, it's adding to the existing school system. But that, and then right when Emma and I started our show, like 3 or 4 entrepreneurs came on in a row and I don't normally always see them beforehand because usually people pay for it and then they come in and then I kind of figure what's going on and whatever. But they all homeschooled their children, taught them about finance, and several of their kids have businesses now already. And some of them are buying their own. They don't even ask their parents for money. So all of a sudden, all this stuff it keeps clicking me into this lane. And I'm not stopping it anymore. The city of I've been here a month now in Mangum, Illinois. They'd kill me for saying that. A month now in Mangum, Oklahoma, and already I'm operating out of the 3-story. I mean, this is a huge library, 3-story library, and why? Because they love the Regeneration School project. And guess what, Simon? What are we talking about today? What are you and I talking about today? Besides me giving you crap.
That regeneration and how much easier it is to just get started than you think. It is no harder than looking at somebody else and smiling and saying, we see a similar problem together. Let's both talk about it as equals.
100%. Let's
That
see
is
what Nick
the-
has to say here.
Sure.
You want to join in some of these? I'm sorry. Did I cut your point off there a little bit?
No.
I
Nope,
know.
because again,
I know.
we have 4 hours. We got 4 hours. You have my next 4 hours. All good.
If I can get them to get away with me, because we're in the place. Check this out. This place is kind of cool. So they've got 9 different games. If
Wow.
you see the black, usually
this is awesome.
This isn't open till 3. This isn't open till
Okay.
3, but this is for the kids of Mangum. They've got 9 different games here. They've got a next level game, which I don't know what this is, but the freaking console's just gigantic. It's awesome. Then they got a virtual reality game back there. You know, the kind you put the hood over your face.
Yeah,
And that, and then they have the old school games, the puzzles, and all of that. And then they got a bunch. And then this next level up is all the books, and then the next level up is music, and it's an awesome place. It's a place where kids can grow.
Then let me answer Nick's question at the top of the queue. What role does CFO experience play in shaping better schools? And I'm sorry to say, Nick, the answer is highly variable, from extremely ineffective to just utterly toxic to just the best thing since sliced bread. So this is an important question, because if I think about your question, it seems like implicit, and please correct me if I'm wrong. If the CFO doesn't buy into what is called positive sum economics, I'll say it again, positive sum economics. And if you want to bore yourself to tears, Nick, there's a Substack that talks all about this, which I can give the link to later on. So the answer is, you don't know. CFO experience could be.
What do you mean? What do you mean by Substack? What did you mean by Substack?
Oh, just the Substack newsletter thing. Sorry.
In other words, other episodes. This is the reason earlier I said I was going to interrupt you, because I'm the safety net. You're the expert, so you're going to say things that you just say every day. Don't even. And I know if I know it, these some bitches are going to know it. I'm the safety net. So if I don't understand something, I will ask you to dig a little deeper. That's all I was trying to say. So what's your define Substack a little deeper?
Sure. And I super appreciate that, because what I'm realizing is, in a way, Rod, you're like my uncle who would do the same thing to me. We'd get to the family barbecue. I would go off and he'd be like, settle down, buddy. So I'm actually fine with being interrupted when it's not in anger. And I apologize for causing that anger way to begin with. I really feel bad about that. So, Nick,
no worries.
Nick, do you want to go with a follow-up to my non-answer to your question?
Yeah. So that CFO experience played in shaping better schools. So I'm thinking you've got a little bit more of an approach that has more dynamics to what can the children get in as a return to what we invest? That's what a CFO does. The financial officer, what makes the most sense? But that same mindset also does, what can the child get most out of the benefit of the $104 a week we spend educating them, or whatever? They don't know that, but you know what I'm saying. I think that's where Nick's going with this.
Yep. Nick, do we have that right? Because I want to make that as dialed in as you were hoping it was going to be.
Yeah. So what we may have, so we've got like I said, about 12, 15.
Okay,
Nick, if we need to get deeper on that, we'll follow up with you as you bring it back in. Okay.
Yeah. And so a Substack is just a newsletter subscription. Think of Substack as like the digital newsstand of now.
Oh, okay. I would have never guessed that ever. I'm glad I asked that. I thought you meant like a I thought you meant like a stack of paper, sort of.
Right.
I was
totally
sandwich. Thinking something.
Yeah. Or a sandwich or a hoagie gone wrong.
Oh, hoagie. Oh, God, you're making me so hungry. My God, I'll be able to eat. All right. So, Nick, thank you very much for that question. If we can build on it, let us know. We got plenty of time, like we were saying. Bradley Pump, before you answer this, Simon, I made a deal with Bradley about, what has it been, Bradley? About 10 months ago, probably now. By the way, I'm sorry if you're offended. Hopefully you're not offended by cuss words, but because
no.
I don't cuss every second, but they do
no.
pop out every now and then.
Yep. Yep.
How did Simon first get involved in education innovation? Now, before you go there, I promised Bradley about the third or fourth time, because he was the one person I knew coming on, regularly. And that was kind of cool that a guy would repeat on and I recognized his name. So I made him a promise back then. He didn't, I don't know if he ever even asked for it, even if he cares, but I will give him a shout out. Bradley, thanks for showing up, brother. And great question. How did Simon get first involved in educational innovation? And that's what we're both talking about. This is an innovation here. And hopefully the timing is right to be able to push it through the pilot program, and yours already started. Go ahead, Simon.
So it began in the fall of 1996. And it began literally with working with underserved. I was working with a Mormon organization at the time. Although I'm not Mormon, I identify as a person of faith. And
were you up in Utah at the time, or just happened to be Mormon? Okay.
So I was in Utah, and it happened to be a Mormon funded and run company.
Sure.
So I did, actually. So where I am is about 30 miles from Brigham Young's. Was it Brigham Young or? Yeah, Brigham Young's birthplace. Yeah.
Are you? Oh, you're in Utah now.
No. I'm in northwestern. I'm in far northwestern Massachusetts.
That's what I thought. Okay, but at the time,
I got into education innovation, working with men in jail in Utah.
Wow. Okay, go on.
They were often extremely angry with me for being the current thing in front of them that represented a state that had effed them over in so many ways, parents who had effed them over in so many ways, schools that had effed them over in so many ways. And they went out to try to find meaning together, as young men sometimes do, and that got them in jail.
Sure, happens. How old were the kids? These people in jail, is this teenage, now what's it called?
Teenagers.
I'm sorry.
Teenagers.
They were teenagers that were in correctional facilities.
They were between
jail.
So they had been incarcerated, and they did a specific extreme thing with me and my program. They would get time off of their jail sentence by agreeing to going to Utah for 8 weeks. They would be entirely self-propelled from the moment they were dropped off in Utah to receive a set of provisions that would accompany them on a months-long walk through the Utah desert.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me catch up here. Oh, this is like when you go to the pearly gates and it just opens up in front of you. There's so much going on. You gotta hold on here. Hold on here. Okay. So
I got 3 more hours. I got 3 more hours.
Yeah, I better hurry. Because there's a lot opening up here. I just saw 2.5 hours run in front of me a second ago. So many questions now.
Sure.
First question, obvious question. How the hell did you get involved? How long have you been doing this to get it so deeply involved in something that is, one, very so much meaningful, but two, to the level where whoever you present, I mean, you're like here and where I'm here and we're doing a slightly different thing, but the buy-in is huge. If they're taking time off their sentence, how did you do that? Where did you get there? Show me what that looks like, please.
Okay, and what I'm not going to be able to show you is a logical path that's going to be for your audience an obvious trailhead.
Well, not every one of us are going to Utah to start a school in the boys' prison. So
that's right.
Yeah, but how did that all come together?
Sure.
Because that's got to be an interesting story. And maybe we should be working closer together, because how long did it take you to do that?
What felt like forever, and what felt like the time I was going to quit, like 5 times happening in a row, until faith that I was in the right place saw me stand up again and keep walking. That is all.
How long was the time though? Was it years?
Oh,
Decades?
It was 9 months until I realized that what the organization was doing in innovation was insufficient to what these young men needed. And I needed to find a different population with different needs and capabilities that would let me do that. And that's a boarding school, private school, tuition paying school.
Yes.
And I talked my way in because of a family connection. And once I was inside, I was like, oh man, this is the place for me.
Yes.
Because purpose is the thing that Marxism will tell you to give up on first.
Yeah.
But any predictive atheist system, not just Marxism. And so when we see a world crushed by nihilism from both sides of the aisle, frankly, and then we wonder
absolutely yes. And here, so let's hover and then continue. I like the word hover. If you know,
I love it.
Why I say that. I want to hover here for a minute. A little politics doesn't hurt, especially when it ain't about right or left, red or blue. It ain't about that. It's about us. And the politics have it all wrong now, and we're still buying into it because to them it's about them. You know,
exactly.
Yes. And to me, the current administration is doing a fine job. I like what they're doing, but I also say trust but verify. But even at that, to me, I'm concerned that there's other things going on, and he's pushing now that party shouldn't be that. And came in, swamped the whole thing. It's all about the American people. I'm all excited about that. He's a businessman. That may not be the greatest person in the world. Don't give a shit. I want my people to make things happen in the right way. The rest of the world's buying in it. All that's going good. But there's this little thing that's starting to trickle in a little bit too much talking about the party. And I guess that's the way it is right now. I mean, and you look at the Democrats and they're way over the top about that. So that has to go away. How does that happen? From us. How does that happen? From better education. How does that happen? Me and you, brother, me and you. That's where it all begins to get to that point, right?
100%. That's all that it takes. America has never needed more than that to unfuck itself.
Correct. Oh, I love that. I'm going to get a bumper sticker. We need this to unfuck ourselves. Woo, that's good. I won't put it on my own car because I'll get in trouble, but I would let other people put it on theirs. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, we need, and here's the thing. Our governments have been around for three millennia, right? The first ones, two of them at the same time. I forget their names. I'm going blank, but that's the first governments created. And then for the last 3 millennia, they've perfected being government. And government, what does it do? It sets up all the critical things so that you rely on them right out of the gate. And then they start putting you in boxes, separate men and women, black and white, educated, uneducated. I mean, my God. You can go on and on. They separate us. Why? Divide and conquer. Here, let's bring it back together. Let's get our talk back, get our narrative back. And once we start voting people in and out, depending on their merit, not anything else. They either did a good job the last time. I either like their message. Okay, their message is great. Okay, I'm voting her in, whatever party. I don't care. Okay. Then she does it. Oh, okay. Or then she doesn't do it. Oh, get your ass out of here. Who's next?
Sure.
That's what we should be doing. But that's why I like Donald Trump, because he came in saying the swamp. Why'd he do that? So that we don't honor them anymore. Nothing wrong with not honoring them. They're our employees. Right now, we treat them like freaking gods. All right, that's it. That's enough of that. Go ahead, take the stage back.
Well, and I think it's really important for the audiences to understand that federal level poison we can reject if we want to by smiling at our neighbors.
Oh, yes. I don't care what color your melatonin is. I don't
Doesn't
care
matter.
what your religion is.
Doesn't
But if
matter.
you're my neighbor, you got the same issues I do.
We're
Good or
drinking the
bad.
same- we're
whatever.
drinking basically the same water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Our poop's
Yeah.
going
And how do
hopefully
we
the same
change that?
place. Yeah,
How do we change that? Repeat what you said. You talk to your neighbor, right?
you do. That's so those systems, those division systems, Rod, that you just explained, those are way more powerful and insidious than most people think about. Why? Because they're addicted to something that is flat. What are they not interested in? This is my iPhone. People are not, right? This device will tell you, I've got everything you need. It's 2D and it's not true. 3D, that is local. That is IR effing L. That's something you feel in your body. That's what your spirit responds to.
Yes. Yes. And you know what? What is the most powerful being on the earth or ever in the world, ever? It's the great, that's a trick question. It's the great American middle class. We're the most powerful entity that has ever existed when we become what I call the giant. When we come together, and there's been instances.
There have. Yeah.
The world moves forward. We're the backbone, man.
So let me just very briefly, just to orient your audience. So I left that environment. I taught U.S. history, social studies in a regular classroom for about, and by regular, I mean just like a private school classroom for about 10 years. My father was a public school and 5th and 6th grade teacher for 20 years in the school that my brother and I went to and we grew up in. The town currently.
Was he your teacher?
No, I got out before he got there.
Okay.
But he taught my brother's kids. He taught his grandkids.
Oh, after. Gotcha. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
then that was epic. Because then to have your granddad be your 5th and 6th grade teacher and be a ball buster teacher, that's the best.
That would be awesome. Oh, I would love to do that. Damn it. I wonder if Matt, I've got another one he's turning 2 next month.
Nice.
I wonder if I can get there before we can get this going before she gets there.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it, man.
And
So
that's the
how did you get involved in innovation? So let's go with Brad, stay with Bradley here. Let's expand, because remember I hovered for a minute and then we went down somewhere. I don't know where we went, but back to what Bradley's saying is, how did you get into innovation? So the education backgrounds, hold on. Was your dad a teacher before? So he's always been a teacher.
Yes.
Gotcha. Okay. Big deal. That's a big deal. Go ahead.
So again, 2 middle-class parents running a very middle-class business.
Mm-hmm.
Both public servants in a way, just figuring it out like Americans do in pairs when good things usually happen more often. So the innovation
more often.
So my mom was the valedictorian of her high school. She dropped out after 1 year of college because she wanted to build something with her hands.
Gotcha.
She started an alternative food service in the very college she had dropped out of with the college permission to start a Whole Foods natural alternative food service.
In the college.
So to answer your question about innovation, I was born into it and I had no idea. I lived with highly unusual humans until I was a teenager.
That's good. That's very good, because now, Al, that's ingrained in you and you're thinking it's just natural. And then as you're a teenager, you're going, whoa, wait a minute, I'm a bit ahead here.
Yep.
Talk about confidence, right?
Yep. But I was also a dork. I mean, I was 5'4" when I started high school. I had buck teeth and braces. People laughed at me. Like I got a good dose of humiliation in 9th grade that if it had been more would have caused real harm, but in the end just caused me to grow up faster about what the world owed me.
That makes sense. That makes perfect sense.
So then basically I got into leadership and innovation. And because I had seen my parents run a small business, I had seen them balance checkbooks over time. And so basically, Clive, to answer your question, can small schools implement these strategies on a budget? The answer is hell. Yes, sir. Yes, you can. and I'll leave Rodd with all of the links to all of the resources that any clinician or practitioner would need.
Okay, so you know this show. Okay, I just noticed you've already put stuff in the private chat. Okay.
Oh no, I'm just
Thank
seeing
you.
it pop up on my screen. I see Clive's icon at the bottom pop up with a question, and I'm just trying to respond.
Oh
to that.
no! Okay. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, good idea. I'm immense. I didn't see that before. Where you put that in the private chat? I didn't notice that. When you say the links, sometime between now and I don't know if you've ever heard me tell people that. Put it in there. I don't know why you can't go straight into comments. That's not me doing that. But whenever you get a chance, we got plenty of time. So put that in there, and then I'll in a little bit I'll copy and paste it over so it's towards the end.
Very good.
Because I want people to have your links. You know how it is, man. I mean, an hour from now, a month from now, 2 years from now, somebody's going to say, "What was Simon talking about when he said this and that thing?" This way they can get straight to you.
Yeah. And so it's in the chat now. And what I would say is
in the chat.
No.
Oh no, it's in the private. Gotcha. Go ahead. I'll do it. I'll copy it over in a bit.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So basically, I was raised in this very idyllic can-do community. I would, as a young child, regularly attend what's called a community house raising. It's like the Amish do, but this was in a town of 800 people in the Green Mountains in Vermont.
Okay, what does that mean? So
have
this town's small.
Say what? I apologize.
So go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. No, I apologize. Go ahead.
So I grew up in this town of 800 people in rural America. And what I saw was people who needed a way to get to a digital front door to the middle class from rural America. You do that in the following way. You leverage the smart part of what these digital devices can do to create a legion of people who are really prone for remote distributed teams, aka Zoom jobs. Because if you enable rural America to attract Zoom jobs, you un-F so many systems at once, it will make people's heads spin. Once they can reject zero-sum thinking and do what we're doing, which is positive sum thinking, deck time, bouncing ideas, listening, refining, right? This is American commerce. We can do an infinite amount of this. That link is the front door for young people to hang out with people like me and the other business coaches to come into a space that's a dojo, that's a learning space where we're not screwing around. Order is very specific and it's predicated on respect. And that begins with being on time, which I'm going to make a joke between us forever. Because as a school principal, what I hated was disrespecting the faculty's time, dude. I feel awful about it still. And I'm just going to keep saying it until you tell me to shut up.
I'm never going to tell you to shut up. I'm going to giggle at it now. You said we have an inside joke. Besides, you're going to invest in the Renaissance School. Hold on. You got to do that again. We got to tap. Why? Don't. Come on, dude. There we go.
I'm spastic. I'm a menace. I don't know. I just flail
We're
around.
there. Okay. And besides, you said you were going to invest in this regeneration school program. So
$1,000, and I'll tell you where it comes from, because it comes ultimately from a very enterprising American family, which I cannot name, as a result of an NDA that I have to sign with some of my clients.
I will put the what do you call it, the PayPal email on there, send it in, and I appreciate that. But what I want to talk about is what you just said. If you saw I was doing this, I was like, oh shit, because here's the thing. So right now, America leads in AI by a great deal. I mean, they lead in crypto. They lead. We lead. I mean, our military. Let's not even get into that. We're generations ahead. And what I know, we're worried about war and this and that, and nobody's going to fuck with us. We're generations ahead of what they know about, and then there's generations ahead more of what we don't even know about. that's
Yep.
out there in the military, and same with other technologies, same with crypto, same with AI, same with this, same with that. But here's the thing. Listen, we're number one. I think it's the UK. There's another major company that's number two. And then believe it or not, China's three. They're not number one or two, but they are three. But then here's the weird thing. Little Vietnam, these little Southeast India. Yeah, you're shaking your head. Okay. I have to look at the camera, so I can't always see your body language.
Yeah, you got it.
But,
100%. Preach, man. Preach.
And you know why? Because they don't have the fucking infrastructure. And you know what? Now everything's digital. And you know what? Rural America's exactly the same way. Why aren't we doing that like Southeast Asia is and all that? Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's what we do in our
love
county.
it. When you brought that up, my head exploded. My God, I didn't even think about that. Oh, what we could do. I mean, all these guys, I hire people from all over the world, right? Because it's all up. Why couldn't we be hiring people from what town did you use as an example? The 800 people. Where was that?
Marlborough, Vermont. M-A-R-L.
Why couldn't we be hiring people from Marlborough, Vermont? I bet you they'd work for $13 an hour, or I don't know, $21 an hour, or whatever, right?
Yes. If I don't, so here's the thing. I mean, honestly, this is purely selfish.
Dude, we got to work together. This is fucking insane. Go ahead.
So here was my thing to my kids, because they see me do crazy shit. They see me work all hours, and I'm like, look, I don't do this to burn a candle other than the candle of my promise to you, my son and my daughter, that you're not going to have to choose between a good place to live and a good job in your lifetime if I can do anything about it.
And we, in today's world, that can be in, Marlboro. I mean, it can be anywhere you want it to be. I can live in Oklahoma now. I'm not forced to live in the city. And honestly, I recommend it. I mean, this. This because you've moved around.
That's right. The labor market.
Let me just finish this. We'll get back to the labor market. But anybody knows what living in big cities like. It is what it is. It's a big city. I've always lived in big cities. I've lived all over the world. Military family. Lived all over the world. Guam. My God, my sister was born in Hawaii. We lived with my grandfather where they were building the Alaskan Highway. Cool stuff, neat stuff. But I've lived all over the world. And always usually in big cities. I was born in a little tiny city, but I was out before. But you know what? People don't know what a great place it is to live in, for instance, for me, Mangum, Oklahoma. People always ask me, why the hell here? Because it's here. And you know what? I don't have to rely on the job being there.
Exactly. And that is the first step to having what we call in this county FU money.
Ooh. Yes, that's what I want here. Same thing. Greer County FU money.
Yep.
I love
so
it.
We're gonna be challenging some of our local collaborators. And by local collaborators, I mean, local. Go ahead. Oh, you're in. Okay, good.
I want to be a local collaborator. I'm volunteering.
Done. Yeah. We'll just go chat with the local community college job person and be like, here's the front end of this pipe. Not everyone wants this. It's free. You'll get these professional certifications worth about $800. From that, you've got a digital portfolio. From this, you have a digital portfolio. You can show any recruiter on earth exactly the business problems you can solve using your laptop.
Yeah. And you get money from that. I mean, you can earn now. And realistically, I mean, at that point, you might as well go 1099, right? Then anything you do, you write off. Or I guess, do you have to be an employee?
Well, so notice how this system gives people political party optionality of the sort you were saying we wish we had.
Yes. That's why I love it. That's why I love it.
So this is the sort of
more powerful community. You are.
We are. This is a we thing. A we thing. When I came out of my depression, the only thing that got me out was my wife fully kicking my ass. And I was like, I have surrendered to this voice saying,
Is your wife
"Get the
around? I want to meet your wife. Your wife is you're obviously an impressive guy, and she's obviously keeping your ass straight in line.
So basically, just for your audience to understand, yes. First thing, yes. Second thing, what my father taught me to do is be in the right place at the right time.
Yeah. Yeah. That's called
And
luck.
totally. And because he was a teacher.
Opportunity and preparation, right? That's when luck happens.
That's right.
Uh-huh.
So chance favors the prepared mind, exactly as you said,
100%.
Rod. Chance favors
100%.
the prepared mind. The American entrepreneurial spirit that is alive in every cell of every plant currently on North America, including its animals and us, we've got this. At a cellular, soil-based level, we've got this. How do we know? We're still alive today after being alive yesterday. We've got this. And the angels of our better nature are on one shoulder, and we've got to just look a little bit more carefully at the other shoulder. And when we've all got FU money at the county level, we can look at what our political parties are really going to deliver, so that the mouth moving we don't care about. Show me the effing jobs. Show me the 1099s. Show me the artifacts of a growing middle class. Stop talking. Show me the 1099s.
Okay, so what you just described right now, that sentence, what you just described is what needs to happen at the end of the day for every American citizen. And I'm going to say citizen because I don't think just open borders and I think it's special being here. And I think it needs to be special being in the UK. I think it needs to be special being in Canada. I think it needs to be special. Maybe there's some places in the world where people need to get out, but that's not what's going on right now. But it is special being here, and there's nothing wrong with that. Now, what it can allow us to do is exactly what you're talking about, where now we can say you need to meet that goal. You are not goal. There's no goal. Meet that entity. You need to meet that requirement. And how do we get there? This is where you're talking about at the end of the day. That's where it's coming in with acceptance, and then your program's taking it and molding it into perfection. Let's say into maturity.
Yes. And actually,
is that your dog? Hold on. Is that your dog?
Yes, I
What
apologize.
kind of dog is it? No, don't.
Okay.
I'm trying to talk to the library and let mine come in because they always sit in the lab in the studio when I but I'm not going to ask them yet. What kind of dog is it?
Can I record a 30-second PSA to your librarian about why my dog is the living argument for why there should be a dog in that building?
Oh no, there is a dog. They have a dog. Yeah.
Okay.
Our dogs are both big. They have a full-grown poodle. A standard poodle.
So
Great
he's a
dog,
Labradoodle.
awesome dog.
Yeah. So he's a Labradoodle.
Oh, he's a Labradoodle. Oh, those are funny dogs. Okay, so I knew he's a big dog. I've got a Doberman and I've got a they're both rescues, so they're both mixes. One's a coonhound and Doberman. One's a boxer and terrier. She's funny. She's adorable.
Yeah.
Boomer and Daisy. Go ahead.
Yep. Let's see. I forgot where I was.
I know. I was just trying to think because I knew you were because we were both into the dog thing.
Let me answer the call.
Yeah, the E-Leaf. The L-EAF.
Antoine Gigal.
Yeah, Antoni Gigal is. I think she's Greek. She's a regular on here. She told me once how to pronounce this. It's I think it's like Antoni Gigal. Gigal. I'm not positive. It's Greek of some sort.
I speak Greek olives. I speak feta. I speak baklava. That's my jam. Okay, so
I do too, man.
So the question is, what inspired the creation of L-EAF Lab? The inspiration of L-EAF Lab was the result of 3 years of my business partner and I getting so frustrated that we literally had a tantrum. Like I'm going to lie on the ground, pound on the floors like a 5-year-old, and then I'm going to get back up.
Wow. So what was the frustration you were going through?
We had sold the same piece of work 5 times to have the contract canceled at the last minute every single time because we made leadership nervous, and we made leadership nervous because we taught teams of employees how to self-organize, and leadership mistook that for an insurrection and flipped out.
Wow. Okay. That's a bummer.
Yes.
I
Yes.
don't know how to put that. That's
Yes.
I would flip out myself 5 times in a row. So they didn't learn the first time when it's like, this is the process, guys. It's working once and you flip out. It's working twice and you flip it. What? I don't get it.
Because I'm an
stupid?
extremely
Are
Yes.
they politicians? They're politicians?
So stupid, yes. Stupid, yes. Stupid, yes. Drawn together by a mutual distaste for capital P politicians.
Oh my God.
And further drawn together by an impatience in realizing that if we as adult men in our 50s continued to wait for things to happen, we were distinctly part of the problem, given that we have enough time to build this little company, to build the Leaf Lab.
Wow.
And if we're not doing it, then
Wow.
we're just talking shit.
Yeah, you're just wasting energy to feel good, but at some point it leaves you with this empty, like, hollow feeling. I mean, it's actually worse than not ever doing it before, not even starting it. I mean, because if you didn't do anything, you don't think it, you don't feel it. You've felt it, you've tasted it. That's gotta suck hard, right?
And if I hadn't seen my mom be devastated by Black Friday in 1987, I would have thought the world is ending.
Yeah,
I saw my mom survive that. I saw my dad survive that. And I was like, you know what? They're special in a way. And this is just ordinary middle-class Americans getting the effing job done when you can't outsource it or offshore it or anything like that. It's down to your 2 hands and your partner and your team and your whatever. And once you can just make that not a big deal and just the normal way that businesses work, to answer Clayton's question about how do you get students excited, you show them respect, you show them meaningful work, you give them the tools, then you step to the back of the workspace and shut the F up, just like in a good dojo.
And by the way, yeah, I appreciate you saying dojo. I almost didn't go off on you because you used dojo in the beginning. I Taekwondo. I was raised in Taekwondo, so I'm familiar with. Yeah, absolutely. So I love that. The beauty is when you step back, how do you get students excited? So when you step back and they keep going and they go through that battle, there may be a challenge to get that real world project completed. When they hit that moment and they look back and you're going right here, right there, they get that pride. And that's where it all starts.
And when middle-class America gets that back in their hearts, sir,
boys and girls.
We're in fine shape. And there's no reason,
boys and girls,
why middle-class America cannot absolutely use any appendages that they've got to use their mind to create a job of purpose that pays them sufficiently to live in rural America or wherever and not sell their soul, but also be able to pay the bills.
How many people do you think you have had touch on? How many people do you think?
500, probably 500.
Okay, see, God damn. And then 500 is going to affect 500. You remember the Perel? Was that shampoo? Perel shampoo back in the day, and so on and so on and so on. Remember that? And so on. There's all these little blonde girls all over the screen now, and so on and so on.
Yes.
500.
So that is the mechanism. That's the mechanism. It's the so on mechanism. Life has been so on here for 13 billion years.
It is. And you know what? There's 288 people on the show right now, and so on.
Hi everyone.
Yeah. So we have the abilities. What we also have, like you just said, you mentioned it. It's that I like to call it. It's same thing in a small town. The same thing in a condominium complex board of directors.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
They've never had power in their life before, and whether they believe it or not, they're going to just give you. You got to get through me. There's my point being, and that's a very small point. These governments, our government, likes the way things are. They got all the money going in their pocket.
Oh, yeah.
$16.7 trillion a year being spent.
Yep.
Doge was going on. Now
Yep.
it's gone. Why? Why would anybody be upset about getting rid of waste? As soon as it started, there were people saying, you're an evil demon. And it just, people finally said, we can't do this. And now the immigrations thing. But forget about all of that. The one thing I'm blowing up about is, wait, is that my computer? No, that's why would you want Doge not to try and do its thing? It's so weird.
I mean,
so, but the reason is because governments don't want us to change. So what you're going up against, what you are up against, and what I will be, I'm not, because I'm still putting things together. The radar is here. I'm down. I'm way under the radar, but as things start to click, and you already hear it in this little town, you're creating a change that needs to happen. But why would they want it to happen? So there's a lot up against it, but that's why we need everybody to come together now. That's why this whole thing is important as an enveloped thing for the great middle class to come together to become the giant. Because then no matter how much they fight it, what are they going to do?
Right. So, and again, I was a U.S. history teacher, and my teachers always taught me to make things.
I love history. History.
So I had this teacher who broke it down for me this way, and I'll probably get it a little bit wrong, but whatever. So, to really build something, it kind of starts at the me level. And then if you're lucky enough to live long enough, you get into the we level. And if you're lucky enough to string a bunch of those together, you got to a sort of us level. And if you've ever built a business, you know what that's like. If you've ever, raised kids, you know what that's like.
100%.
And what you have to do as a leader, and this is what makes me so sad about the world in general, rural Americans can't wait to have things delivered from afar, right now. And that's okay.
Say that again. Hold on. Let me wrap my head. Sorry, I was pulling up your information.
Okay.
I accidentally brought in too much of it, but we got your information there. Say that again. We don't want to wait for things so far. Say that again.
Yeah. I mean, it's really tempting as a teacher, a U.S. history teacher, to say we got to respect the past. I think we really have to respect the past, but we also have to be clear about what parts of the past we want to leave behind. A lot of 60s activism was way too narcissistic and self-involved.
True.
Some people grew past that. Some did not.
True.
My kids can't wait. My kids can't wait for them to realize that we need more sort of distributed leadership along the kinds that I talk about in my newsletter, that are well documented, not controversial, not voodoo, but that requires just more humility from leadership. And if we can make one change in America to grow the middle class, it would be for managers to just believe more in the innate intelligence of the working class. Full stop.
Yes.
Treat them with respect. Yes. Have young people expect respect, and then you've got a superpowered workforce without needing there to be a big boss.
Yeah, and that big boss at that point could even be just more of a support structure, a different relationship. God,
Yeah.
who was I talking to? The military's going through that same thing too. They've actually been going through it. The military,
Yes.
the leadership system in the military is different now than it used to be, and a lot more effective. Why? Because it has to be. Because the kids today are smarter. I mean,
Way
kids
smarter.
learn. I mean, have
Yeah.
you ever tried to do 5th grade math with your kids are older, right? How old are your kids?
So my daughter's in 10th grade and my son is halfway
Okay.
through
Oh,
college.
okay. So you've got both. So
Yeah.
I'm not going to ask you that because I realized, wait, that's a dumb question. You're a teacher. Never mind.
No, it's fine.
For me, I mean, you hear this on TV all the time. The comedians say this. We're both failing 5th grade math. There's a famous comedian that's cracking
Yes.
up, you know,
Yes.
it's hilarious. But
Yeah.
kids are a lot more aware. They have a lot more access. They have this, they have
Sure.
that. I've
Sure.
really benefited a ton from my granddaughters showing mine on Saturdays because she says the same thing. Look, some kids are just jerks and they're going to want to argue with you. But you know what? If you're having a discussion with your kid, and typically it may be the same sort of discussion as you would have with an adult. And if you have a disagreement, you're not going to yell and chastise the adult. Why would you do that to a kid? I mean, give them the respect they deserve so they'll open up to you.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo. That's it.
Yeah.
That
That's
is
the
the
whole
whole
thing.
package. That's the whole thing.
Good. I'll send my granddaughter over with you, and you guys will make a great team. We got a thing going. She's smart. I mean, well, and here's the thing: she's no smart than anybody else. She just has a where she knows she can say, like, I'll tell her, "Thank God you're on the show because you got me back in line." I mean, she's like taking this thing. At first, it was kind of like, "Oh well," but then all of a sudden she realized, "Hey, I can say stuff that I really want to say, and nobody's gonna like my grandpa ain't gonna." Pound on me. And you know, the thing about the guests, they're like, oh my God, seriously, what about this then, Emma? Emma, what do you think about? And people are eating it up because she's not any more brilliant. Well, okay, yes, she is. So Emma, don't listen to the rest of what I'm going to say. She's not any more brilliant than anybody else, but her voice, she knows matters. Other kids don't.
Yeah.
That's the difference. That's the magic. That's the gap between what is and the magic. And what you're teaching and what you're doing is creating magic. I want to add a fifth grader. Let's see, how would we do this? So 5 is like first grade, kindergarten, first grade. So starting in like first grade, maybe just simple stuff. Like you don't teach kids calculus in first grade. But you do some sort of like put the block in the block and the square in the square, and you know. And so there's got to be. Go ahead.
And so it's basically Montessori.
Yes,
it's basically the Maria Montessori method. Is what?
Yes.
You know, if I could find a way to get a message to one of the 1,100 billionaires currently in North America, if I get a message to them, and keep in mind there are 1,100 billionaires in North America presently. The percentage.
I did not know there were 1,100 billionaires in North America. Seriously?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So when I hear the doom police talking about this, that, and the other thing, I don't believe them. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
And I don't believe them for a very specific reason, which is even more important than the first number. And maybe, can we do like a call-in thing where your audience guesses a percentage?
We don't have that. Speaking of which, I am meeting today or tomorrow with a radio station so that we will be going out through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and Instagram, which we do now.
Can we do a multi-part series together, please?
Yes. And when I, by the way, let's talk about that a little bit in the green room afterwards, the show.
Okay.
When I talked to this radio station, the reason I wanted to do that is I wanted this stream going out and the radio station going out.
Oh,
and
nice.
A phone
So good.
on my desk that somehow ties in. Don't know how this is going to work yet. Somehow, just like a radio station, caller.
Yep.
Line 1, you're on with Insights and Straight Talk.
Love it.
Simon wants to answer your question here. What's your question here today, caller in line one? What's your name, Joey? Whatever.
Okay,
Right?
so here's my commitment. in
Let
addition to the
me add to
$1,000.
that. Let
Yep.
me add.
Yep.
Let me add one more thing to that. The reason I'm in the library right now is because the day I landed here, I said, we're here to, so Regeneration School project, talk around the table is what is the next step off of Insights and Straight Talk with Emma Lynn and Grandpa Rodd. Talk around the table is giving teens their voice. Okay. And that is the next step, which is teens from Mangum all over Greer County. We're working on this right now. I'm hoping to tie in some sort of food school project where hey, come and have a sandwich and a snack with your mom or dad. And then what'll happen is, Joe, you're next. Come on over. Have a seat, Joe. Emma, You're Emma right now. The guests here, their questions. Little Joey or Sally or I think of a Hispanic name, Juan or whatever, anybody sitting here, and they say, okay, here's my question. What about this? Or maybe somebody from the live audience would be asking them, or somebody on the phone. Now we have this communication because it's at multiple levels. You know, we stream all over the world.
Excellent.
I had somebody from Sweden fly out here when I was still in Chicago. Her husband, for her 50th birthday, gave her a birthday present to fly here to Chicago and have dinner with me. Not that it wasn't a thing going on or anything. I had nothing going on. It's just she called me. She hooked me up and said, hey, this and that. And these guys in Sweden, they have a lot of problems with immigration. There's a big deal going on in Sweden, has been for a long time. Germany has got a nice little pocket. The UK, Canada's got a big following. And then here, obviously, here's got about, and we actually have a little bit in the like Southeast Asia and Vietnam and those, a couple of people, so what we need to do is really kind of just keep this movement moving forward, Yes. And I forgot what my whole point was about that. I'm sorry. I cut you off because you were going to talk about the $1,000 for the Mangum school, and I cut you off, and I went down this rabbit hole, and I totally forgot where I was going with that. So go back, please. Sorry.
No worries. And the thing is, this sort of conversation, any good classroom in America has people interacting and wanting to learn stuff and exchange ideas and whatnot. It's all here already.
We could be doing this in the classroom. The monitor could be up in the. Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh my God,
that's what I'm saying,
dude. I didn't even think of that. Think of that.
So that's what I do.
This is about life lessons. The fifth course about the life lessons.
There you go.
Keep teaching math. Keep teaching science. Keep teaching English. These are important. But you gotta learn how to.
You gotta evolve
get your job right. Yeah. Well, here's the thing too. I like the speaking of educational systems, I like the European system the model of the European system a little better than ours. Specifically UK, because what they do and Australia, not Australia. I think maybe one of those. What they do is they track you, and then you may be more interested in athletics or teaching. And they start putting you on that track.
That's right.
That's part of this too.
Yes.
So what I want to do is for 3 months, once we start having people come in kids join us here and the radio station, that's 3 months. The next 3 months is we have counselors that are volunteering around town. People in the church, counselors, teachers, whatever. And they start this program where they hook up with a kid. And in the school system, you're supposed to follow them through. AI is going to keep all the data and the stats, right?
Interesting.
And building the folder.
Wow.
And then your kid's going to go in a track, and then after school program, you and your kid are going to talk. There's going to be additional education. Parents can get additional education in AI and this and that.
Cool.
So it's not just the kids. You heal the kids and the parents are fucked up. Are you really going to heal the kids?
Mixed results. Mixed results.
Yeah, right. Mixed result. Yeah. I mean, not all parents have all the tools that they need to raise a child.
The great majority do not. Some of them accept that fact and get motivated, and some of them don't.
Exactly. Third level, I've got all the presentations to the House representatives, the senators. Good. Oklahoma is known for being aggressive in school programs, trying them out.
Good.
We're going to start a pilot program here. Why? Small enough to manage.
Yep.
Second reason, it's the county seat. Small, but it can be expandable or scalable.
That's right. And so we can invite a guy from Naperville, Illinois school district who does a similar.
That's where I'm from. Whoa. That's where I just moved from. I just moved from there.
What?
That's where I moved from. My studio was in Oswego, across the border. My studio was in Oswego.
Oh my Lord.
House was in Naperville.
Oh my Lord.
I don't know him because I wasn't part of the school system, but
wow. That's incredible. So which is just to say, yeah, we can do that, and we can bring professionals from school buildings to say, look, the connect up to the system is here, costs you nothing. We'd really like to get your conversation into the mix.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, you're hitting it. Okay, so yeah, we need to do this series thing. Yeah.
Because guess what?
Listen, you lived in Utah.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Did you ever know a Sean Mitchell? He was a senator there for a little while. I don't know how long ago. Does that name sound familiar? Senator Sean Mitchell?
No.
Okay, he was a senator for your state. I went to high school with him. He's a Mormon.
Okay.
Huntington Beach High School in California.
Right. Oh yeah, Huntington Beach. Sure.
Yeah. That's where he went. Anyway, I've been trying to get after him to help be with this program too, because we're going to need politicians. We're going to need people like you.
Sure.
You know what you do. All I am is, I don't know what I am. I'm here.
Well,
I'm here.
So here's the thing. Here's what you are. You're a connector.
Yeah, I am.
No connectors, no network. No network, you're in the Stone Ages.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Well, dude, what are we going to do next?
Well, so I've got a proposal. My mom and I are going to be getting on a train from Albany, New York. And we're going to
Albany. That's beautiful. That's a gorgeous part of town.
And we're going to go west. We're going to go west to Chicago. And then we're going to keep on going to Minneapolis. We're going to get off the train and go to my college, which is having an entrepreneurship event where my mom and I are both speakers.
Yes.
Then we're going to get back on the train and get on, shoot the breeze and come back. So we would love to, while we're on the train, do some shows with you. Just do live shows.
Yes.
We'll live cast from the coach car.
How long are you going to be in Chicago?
Well, we don't really know yet.
Just a transfer thing, or
no.
Do you have something going on there?
My nephew lives there.
Okay. The reason I say that is because there's a guy going across the country right now raising awareness. Same thing on a bicycle. He's done this a number of years. He's kind of well known. He came on the show a little while ago, and he wanted to do the same thing. Come to Chicago. Stop. We'll eat. Like we'll do a man on the street show from downtown, like one of the restaurants. And we were setting that all up, and then I moved. So because he was going right through Chicago, and then he's dropping down and going all the way coast to coast. So yeah, I'd love to do that. I'd even. When are you doing that? When are you making that? You and your mom that trip?
Let me see. I have to look at my calendar. I think it's the third week in October. Let me look.
It's too close to my granddaughter's. Where's her second birthday? I'm not missing that for the world. But she and I. So Emma Lynn, I started that show with Emma, and finally just went off on it because I was down. So we've done 8 shows, so 8 weeks, 2 months. I was
Okay.
down about 3 months ago. I was down with my granddaughter, with my son, and my daughter. His wife is Lauren is awesome. As a matter of fact, Lauren and I do all the stuff putting together, me visiting, because my son's he's me. She's got it all together. But my little granddaughter, at that time she was a year and a half, did a show with me, and she was oh my god, the whole thing blew up when she was on. She's so adorable. So
Awesome.
I have no idea why I was saying that, but I love what we're doing here, and I love the thought that would be an awesome next step. Here's the you were talking about something about getting more involved with the regeneration school program.
Yes.
And I cut you off. Was there something else you wanted to say about that? And I
Well,
apologize.
so we're gonna send that money over. I can Venmo it over, and then I'm at your service for whoever that leader is to help them build a chaos taming system, so that they build quality and predictability of the sort that lean manufacturing gives. Because that's really what I do. I do lean manufacturing.
Okay, hold on. Stay here for a second. What do you mean by what? So there's the email. When you say Venmo, I've never used it. I just started using Cash App because some people are using that.
Okay.
I know what Venmo is, but I don't know how to use it.
Doesn't matter.
This
I'll
is
use
the-
Zelle. I just need the account information.
That's
check.
the email there. Is that what you need, or what do you need?
We'll figure it out afterwards.
Okay, fine. Let's not waste time. What are you talking about right now, though? What do you mean by the program that you're creating a leader? What does that look like? I like to say.
Sure.
We'll get back to the money thing later. We'll do that in the green room. Forget about that.
Okay. So you mean, what does it look like from the student experience to get involved with the lab, or?
I'm trying to dig into a couple things, because we've really been a lot of talking.
We've been all over.
But we haven't really talked specifically about what your company does, not you specifically.
The company,
or
the lab.
Maybe,
sure.
I don't know.
Yeah, no.
The lab.
So really, the fun thing would be to have my 3 business partners come on with me, because we're like the Marx brothers, like Harpo and Chico Marx. Because I have like the 3 best business partners ever, and they're all regular dudes, all gray in some ways, all thoughtful guys, and we'd love to talk about, how we run the lab, because we run it using lean principles. What
happens in the lab? What's the lab?
So the lab is a place where companies bring us work that is not urgent work. So they're bringing us long-term projects that they know they're never really going to get to.
Okay.
What they will do is they'll give us that project, and they'll give us about $250 a month, so we can provide the tools to the students to actually begin to solve the business problems that the companies bring to us.
How old are the students? How old are the people working on the problem?
High school and college age.
High school, college age. Is this part of that, also that rural 800 people? Is that part of that same look?
Yes. It is basically mental fertilizer for rural America, available through an internet connection at no cost for the willing to pick up an effing hammer with a friend and go build something of value.
Wow. Dude.
Because that's how I honor my ancestors.
Let's change the entire United States working structure.
Yeah.
Boom. I mean, it's very doable.
It's very doable.
I shouldn't say that.
We
need some of the stuff that's there.
Yep.
Leave that.
Sure.
The industrial side. I mean, we are the industrial and the financial backbone of the working people all around the world are the backbone of their country's economics and industrial infrastructure.
Always have been.
The digital infrastructure.
Always have been.
Rural America. Forget about the cities. We'll get to them.
Sure. There's time.
We need to focus on rural America.
Yeah.
Oh my God. You handle the first half, hand them off to me early. And then when I'm done with the little ones in this half, I'll hand them up to you, and then we'll hand them back. Oh my God, that's so beautiful.
Well, it's Henry Ford. It's how do you build a system that reliably gets young Americans to the labor market, ready to contribute and
Yes.
confident that they know how to do it. That's it.
And they aren't now.
No, 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 no,
Not at
no,
all.
no, no,
Not
no,
even close.
no.
Not even close.
We're on a burning platform. Our education platform is burning.
Big time. Well, and it's not just starting burning. It's
No.
burning.
It's been decades.
You can
Burning
see the smoke and
yeah, it's been burning for decades.
It's falling in on people.
Yes.
Dude, this is next level for me. For me,
Well,
this is next level.
To me, it's also rural economics, because what does every rural American know? If you can only get your heat or your something from one source, you're living under a monopoly.
That's true.
You invite that in. You invite that into your political system at your peril.
That's absolutely true. No doubt about it. You know, and you know, you can teach kids starting off early, you know, that fifth core. So in high school, you're now able to bring them from the final steps of where I would want them to be.
You got it.
I mean, you're in a harder spot because you don't have the infrastructure supporting up
Correct.
to you yet.
Correct.
Makes sense,
Correct.
right? So
but this is why I'm talking to you. This is why I'm talking to you.
Plug-in, exactly.
This is why I'm talking to you.
This is the click. This
Yes,
is
sir.
the click. Because now we can say, let's say from first grade, just simple ideas, fun ideas, simple,
Sure.
just incorporating in, and then after kindergarten, before they take their nap, they spend a minute with their counselor, and
Exactly.
and the counselor
Exactly.
says, "So, Sally, what's your favorite
Yep.
color?" "Oh, yellow." "Ooh, okay."
Yep.
You know, and then
Yep.
take your nap. You
Yep.
know, and then just
That's right.
just build it and build it. It snaps right in, doesn't it?
It does, because once you train kids to trust themselves, that they can calm themselves down with their breath and their spirit, you create a nation of ninjas.
That's what we need, man. That's exactly
And it's not, and
what
it's
we
and
need.
it's not expensive. It's just a little mindset shift. And I'm one of
The
those
only
people.
money,
Yeah.
the only money, and here's the thing, you know, billions and billions and billions of dollars are wasted on Band-Aids. You know, just say no. Was that really effective? You know, I mean, billions of dollars on these Band-Aid projects fail and are wasted money all over and over. And
Yeah.
that's why I'm looking at it thinking, there's Doge. Now this stuff has changed a bit, but also remember, they want to rebuild the educational system and basically tear it down, because right now it's running illegally. It's too connected to the national
That's right.
government. It's not allowed to be that. It says in the Constitution it cannot be connected with the school.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because what is a government going to do with its school system? It's going to get the kids indoctrinated.
So
We want them
that
indoctrinated, but in themselves, not the education. Sorry, go ahead. Go.
that's right. And sorry, and indoctrinated, particularly in learning to trust a team, to define a business problem fairly, split the results fairly, and then that 111, that whatever it is, 1,100 billionaires, that's 3 times bigger.
Okay, so when you say split, okay, so this program, let's just talk about your program for a minute.
Sure.
Sure. I'm so excited about this. My God, I'm going to pee myself, I think. I told you I'm a little goofy. Okay, now I'm relaxed. Now I'm a lot happier. I'm so glad I didn't give you any more crap than I did. Because
It would have been
you're
fine.
a fucking genius, dude. This is a genius thing happening right now.
So Rodd,
What?
I've had billionaires. I solve problems for billionaires.
So
That's
how do you
basic.
split that? How does that look like? So this problem comes, this
Yep.
group of kids, I assume they're assigned to a project. What does that look
So-
like is what I mean. And then they
Sure.
split the profit. How does that all work? Because this is
Sure.
this is very cool.
Sure. And what it requires is a local community to host these things. Through our website, you can see how any company can do that. So if you've got a company in town, they can host teams, they can host incubators, they can host all these sorts of things. It's not hard. We just need
Why
a
does there have to
representative.
be a company in town?
It doesn't have to be. It could be a school person. It
Okay.
could be I mean, the front door to the Leaf Lab is open to all high school and college students and graduate students, full stop.
Full stop by spot. Let's
Yeah.
say the city library, Mangum
Uh-huh.
City Library, hosted a Leaf Lab.
Sure, they could do that. Yep.
They could
And
do
so-
that, and then kids would come in from
Yes.
high school to college to
Yes.
on, would come
Yes.
in and what
So
from there?
right from there, they're going to gather around a computer monitor like we are.
Or a
and
bunch of them.
Yep. And they're going to gather around what's called a business information radiator, which is a Toyota
Okay.
thing. And it's a Toyota, the information radiator is this Toyota practice that a bunch of business people and I have started to develop over years to make it easy for people to map the systems in their businesses that create value so they can stop doing the things that don't. So it looks like those kids
Don't
coming in.
create value. Gotcha. Go ahead.
So
Don't
these
create
kids,
value. They stop doing things that don't create value. Is what you're saying.
and how much of corporate America forgets that every year with a reorg?
100% almost.
Staggering
A lot of waste.
staggering amounts of waste. When you teach people, and you teach kids in particular, to trust themselves, that they can talk about things with a present adult, right? Like it's not just the kids figuring it out. It's not Lord of the Flies. Incremental challenges with specific deadlines and a commitment to innovate, to literally try something that might fail is what you have to do. If you can't do that small thing, the lab is not for you. You can find us on LinkedIn, but that's the gist. You have to be willing to do the work, to try the difficult thing that does not have an obvious solution, which means you can't have a teacher tell you, you can't have a politician tell you, you can't have a parent tell you. You have your friends and your coach to give you good ideas that you can try. And then you're a fully
Hold on.
empowered, then you're a fully empowered workforce member.
Okay. So, all right. My mind is just, okay. So let's say Insights.
Yep.
In cooperation with the Mangum Library, we
Sure.
have a front door.
Yep.
A Leaf front door.
Uh-huh.
And that front door is 3, 6, 9, 12 kids behind me.
Yep.
Signed into a website.
Yep. Correct.
And I'm signed into a website as
Correct.
the adult
Yep.
direct.
Correct.
Uh,
Yeah. You're the
the
adult in the
helper
room.
person.
You're the adult in the room.
the
Yep.
what?
You're
The
the
help
adult
in the room.
Yeah.
Yep. The adult in the room. Well, age-wise for sure.
You wouldn't do this. You wouldn't have made this
You know
many
what it-
shows. You wouldn't have made this many shows if you weren't fully an adult. That I know.
Yeah. You know what number we're at right now? 1 year ago. See, today's the 20th, isn't it? Where's the date?
It was a
Today's
big
22nd.
number. It was a big number. I saw it on the website. I was like, damn, Rod's not
19
effing around. Yeah.
Yeah, we're first show was Constitution Day on purpose. I was choosing between Grandparents' Day and Constitution Day. I went with Constitution Day. They're a week apart. So the show, our first live stream back then, it was called and Producer Barbie.
Yeah.
The first show was on 17th. We are now at 300. I think you're 58 or 48. I
it's a
think
huge
you're
number, yeah.
348. Yeah.
It's a huge number.
So yeah, it's very exciting. So we've got the date. I've got 9 kids behind me.
Sure.
And I'm the adult in the room, and we're all
Yeah.
signed into the website, and
Yep.
and here's our task, and then
Yep.
we're all signed into something that says Joe, Bill, Jose, Maria, Estambo, blah blah blah.
Yep.
These 9 kids are signed in, and I'm signed in. And
Yep.
is that what all that looks like? How complicated? How easy is it for
Yeah.
somebody in a local rural area to
Yeah.
set this up for himself to be a Leaf operator?
Sure.
That's
Sure.
I think.
That is, yeah. Let me.
What's that look like?
And I'll literally show you what it looks like because I'm going to share my screen.
Good.
Okay, so when a student comes into the lab, they have an interview with me or one of my business partners. At the end of the interview, if we think that they're a good fit and they self-select in, they then get to join the lab. And is that screen share working?
I do not see anything.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Yeah. Hold on. Sorry. I didn't add it. There we go.
Yep. Okay.
Here,
So
actually,
for your
go ahead.
Yeah.
Let me jump back in. I'm going to jump out and change it so you get a bigger view. Okay. I can hear you. So I'm going to jump out and it's just going to be you in the screen. Give me a second.
Yeah. Well, and that's good because it'll give me a while to explain to your audience what an information radiator is, what it looks like in action, and what it's made up of, because it's something that any worker in America can bring to their workplace if their boss is sane enough to let them do it.
You can see that. Can you see how we're set up?
No, because I'm sharing my screen. Let me see. Oh, I know. I can jump back to the other tab. I apologize. Yes.
That's the way you want to see it, right? I'm going to jump off again.
Okay, so that's it. So what you're looking at is essentially a workshop floor of a factory. In this factory, there are two conveyor belts. One conveyor belt moves left to right, and that is all those colorful columns. And you see the arrows underneath indicating that this is a workflow where work comes in on the left-hand side as strategic objectives. And what this means is that some company has said, we've got some stuff that we need to get done. And you see where it says discovery with the product owners in the lab. So the students that are in our product owner program, we go through and we hear about the business problem. We try to understand what the nature of the problem is. And we go through a scoping process where you might do for one company market analysis. For another company, this is some other stuff. So there's just, various companies, they have various things. And so with the students, we break that work down because again, we're getting this ready to feed teams of students way over here on the far right-hand side. So you can see right now, if you can see.
Okay, that. Hang here. So as you were going through that, so there's instructions and you choose whether you want to be in the marketing thing or this part or that part of it. And then there's instructions under each of those. And then we choose like the section you're going into now, they're choosing, okay, team, we want to tackle this one. So you sign into that. Is that where you are now?
Correct. So every student gets access to this tool. The students get access to this tool for free, thanks to our corporate sponsors, who we should also have on the show because Dimitri is amazing and hilarious.
100%.
And so 100%. we use this ticketing system so that when the students come into the lab, they're focused on very specific pieces of work.
Oh, wow. Okay, so when you're taking on a thing, like let's say it's marketing you chose. So then in there's a bunch of stuff that needs to be done in that marketing. And let's call the kid Dimitri, just because you just said your partner's name. Dimitri signs in and wants to go to one specific part of work. So he's signing into that work. And then we'll all see his work being done in there, what he ended up doing, right?
Correct.
Go ahead.
And so once a company comes in, we spend a lot of time with the company people to define the problem. Usually it's on fire. So they just want a solution. So we have to slow them down so they can understand and talk about the problem in a more rational way.
Makes sense.
And we use a ticketing system that has ludicrous amounts of detail about a staggering number of things. We can attach files. We can do.
You use funny words, by the way.
So this is how the students learn to manage products, so that when they go out into the workforce, they can come into a work system like this and be like, compile a list of 30 something for my boss, and I need to do it by Friday. Oh, I get it. Oh, I'm confused. See down here, I can email my boss directly and get a quick answer.
Dude, you could be in
Yeah.
high school and already know more about being a project manager than the 40-year-old project managers. And when you go into the workforce, you go into that way, you're going to be like, oh, fuck, I know how to project manage. Are you kidding me? I did this since I was 16.
Correct.
Oh,
Correct.
and make it, and being paid to do it.
Correct.
Right? Because the kids are making money out of this too, right?
So they don't get paid. They don't get paid.
Kids don't get paid. Okay.
So here's how it works. No, but let me explain. When they leave the lab, they get on the escalator to a job. The people who get
we got to sell it the right way is all I'm saying. That's all. Okay, go ahead. So they're learning all this work experience. Go ahead. So
as they leave the lab, our third business partner, who is a business genius, and he worked for the Snapple Dr. Pepper company, and he transformed their hiring process.
Oh, wow.
Gets students to the right placement agencies. We explained to the agency. So
there's an actual program where there's somebody in the third step receiving, coming out of the lab. So I've got my front door. Kids are coming in. They're doing their thing. Then they finish their thing. They go out the exit of the lab and say, hey, it's been great. Love you. And they meet your business partner who's waiting outside and says, hey, come with me. I've got some people that you need to talk to about getting a job.
Correct. But first, we're going to make sure you know how to interview. First, we're going to make sure you know how to present your skills.
Okay. So it's the next step. Okay. Go ahead. Okay.
That's it. And so once you get those people that tuned up for the workforce is like, oh my God, these people think for themselves and they solve problems and they show up on time. Are you kidding me? I want to hire them immediately.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Let's say, yeah, we both chuckled about that. I caught it. Don't worry, I caught it. My granddaughter, she's 16. She like every other kid at about this age, says, hey, I've got to go to school and I'm finishing school, and her priority is college. Although, things can affect that as time goes on. Who knows? Sure. But she says, my priority is I want to go to college. And because she wants to make something of herself. Lots of time to talk about, oh my God. Oh, wow. We're already at 2 hours. Son of a bitch. Wow. Good. That went by really fast. Anyway, she's going to be loving this kind of thing. So at the end of the day, if she wanted to get a job and she was of working age, could she also be working on this and then also meeting your partner and going through that part of it at the same time, and then also getting a job? Or is it the kind of job would be beyond a high school job at that point, wouldn't it be?
Well,
or you get creative with people who
got it. Bingo.
Okay,
bingo.
There you go. Go ahead.
And so here's the thing: you meet like-minded people.
Okay.
Then you figure out the problem together. As long as you're aligned on what it means for the middle-class America to regrow,
100%.
Everything 100%. Else we can figure out later.
100%. Okay. Yeah. I love this, brother. I love this.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So let me ask you this. I'm gonna, before it gets crazy down here, we don't have to step off too soon, but let's take our time to kind of wind down a little bit here.
Sure.
What are some things that we haven't talked about yet? And I know there's a ton of them, but I'm glad we got to that structure, because so literally at 18, you're still a senior in high school, haven't even gone to college yet, making that decision, we're probably already made at that point, especially if they're in our program. By the time you're a junior, here's the thing. Counselors only work with, and Emma and I have talked, and this is where it kind of all got started, was this conversation with Emma. She was like, you'll probably meet your counselor maybe for the first time, unless you got in trouble or something, unique situation. Your high school counselor, how many times do you talk to them? Once a year in your junior year? When you're learning, when you're then just exactly. when you're starting to think about if you're going to go to college, and if so, where. That's the only time you really talk to your counselor.
Right.
That shouldn't
Just
be.
crazy.
You by the time you're in high school, unless you move around and then the records go and another counselor is assigned, obviously all of that. But let's say you're in the same rural area. You started here, you grow all the way up. There's 15 counselors in the school system. Maybe it's a whatever. And each day your first period class is this fifth core thing. One day the class may be meeting with your counselor. One day it may be taking these identity tests of where you are now. One day it may be right? I mean, it's a very constant and consistent program.
Correct.
But how often do you meet with your counselor now as a kid? Maybe once in your junior year.
Yeah. No, it's insane. And we wonder why kids have we wonder why they're directionless and confused.
Nothing. They have nothing. And we pay more by a huge amount for every kid to be educated in our school system. And we're 40th in the nation? We pay way more than any other country in the world.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
It's embarrassing. Yes, absolutely. But it's our future. That's us.
Yeah. It's worse than Thank you. It's way worse than embarrassing. Worse than embarrassing is the best case scenario. It's disaster, actually.
Yeah, it's disaster. I mean, what do you think we're in the situation? Our country is so far ahead because we've been so far ahead for so long.
Yep.
It's not because of what we're doing right now. I mean, maybe there is some of that. I mean, we got pretty smart people, and we get smart people from all over the world. And yes, we love people coming into this world. Why?
Sure.
Because we want the smart ones. We don't want the dumbass ones. We don't want we'll train you later, but if you're going to come take care of and come into our country, we can choose, man.
Sure.
South Vietnam hasn't got people flooding into their country. We do. Because we're we. So
I think if you believe that there is an entity called the United States of America, it has a distinct territorial boundary. It has all these things about it that have delivered a certain set of results very unevenly for a long time, and we're still here.
Well put.
We can still do better. It's going to be by transcending the things that divide us.
Well put. God dang, dude. I think I'm falling in love with you.
It's the toolbox. It's my granddad's
toolbox.
That
is kind of hot. I got to admit your wood is hard. It's very hot.
But this is just America. This is just America.
I love that, man.
Just America. That's all that it is.
All right. What else have we not talked about today? We'll get together in the green room in a minute. We only got 2 people on. It's so funny. I guarantee you there's 2 people. Let me guess. I think one of them for sure is Ronalda. She hadn't said anything today, which I'm surprised. The other one, God, it could be producer Barbie. It could be her. She jumps on. But there's always 2 people at the end. And I know one of them is always Ronalda. But anyway, what else have we talked about that you would like to chat about?
We're good. Thank you.
You good? Yeah. All right. So why don't you give us a closing comment? Let's see. Have we broken the record yet? Where are we at? We're at 2.
Oh, good.
Oh, we're not at 2. We're not even at 2. We will be at 2. Okay. The longest I've gotten 3 shows that have gone over. You will be the 3rd show.
Okay.
Or the 4th show that will have gone over 2 hours.
Okay.
Out of all those shows, you're the 4th show that has also done that. We've actually had 1 show, which I'm sure in the future shows, this series we're going to do.
Okay.
2.5 hours, 2 hours and 36 minutes and 47 seconds is the longest we've ever gone on the show. My goal is to get to 3 because Joe Rogan did it with President Trump. So that's my goal at some point.
So if that is in fact your goal, my mom and I on the train, we can totally do that between us. That is a goal. We will crush that goal and have a lot of fun.
Okay. And when we do that, we need to advertise a lot because I want to have, typically people are kind of geared into that. We're an hour and a half show. So right
Okay.
around an hour and a half, people start dropping off just because they
Sure.
got other shit to do, right? So
Sure. Sure.
we got to advertise the heck out of it ahead of time. So we're
Okay.
crossing over 2 hours now. Let's hang out when you
Yeah.
get back to the green room.
Okay. And I don't know how that works.
let's-
As you can tell, I really don't understand this technology. So,
You're in the green room, brother.
okay.
That's how it works.
Woo.
Yeah, but you're back out now, so don't say anything nasty about me. Oh, you barbecuing? You getting ready to barbecue?
You know, at this time of year, you can barbecue into December.
I am hungry as hell
And-
because of that barbecue. I'm thinking of good meat, man. A nice, good steak, right?
That's
there.
right. And so there's a farmer. There's a farmer about 2 miles from here, and we just go up to his freezer and we buy stuff out of his freezer.
That's what I love about this place. Same thing. There's these like little dudes, and you get to know them. And there's a barbecue place down the road, and you buy barbecue in bulk. And it's just this house that's on the edge of town, and he's been doing it forever, and it's just the greatest thing in the world, man.
Yeah.
So hey, why don't you give everybody a big wave? I'll throw you in the green room, which just means after you say wave and I say I'll see you on the other side, I'll throw you in the green room, and I'll just remove you off stage, and we'll chit chat back there.
Okay.
Final comments.
Thank you for having me on, and I really just encourage anyone who can hear this to not lose hope. Hope is as close as your next breath and your next friend.
God damn, that's beautiful, brother. All right, big wave. All right, cool. Hey guys, great show there. Awesome show, and this is gonna turn into a series-ish kind of thing. We'll talk more about that later. But like I said, I'm waiting. I probably already have a message on here. Aren't these phones cool? He was showing you his phone, so I'm going to show you mine. The flip phone. I've got the 6. The 7's out now, but I encourage everybody to try stuff new. Try things you haven't tried before. Try living in a small town. See what you think. Try doing things that are different. For instance, the school educational system. What Simon and I are talking about here now are things that just cannot be ignored, because the way of the future, the AI, everything's moving in such that direction. We've been talking about that, but I'll go one step further, because Simon's making an awesome point here in that why can I go out and get my problem solved on my company out in Southeast Asia for this amount of stuff when I could be going to rural Mangum or rural Greenville, I think you said it was. I apologize. We need to really, really flood back in. We need to make all parts of the United States golden. Set. There should never be anybody who lives in the United States under the poverty line. Never be a single person. That should never happen. Not socialism I'm talking about, not communism, nor am I talking about. He talked about how Marx is. This is not the way we are to go. However, with that said, with things like what Simon's talking about here, there should never, ever, ever, ever be anybody in this country that's under the poverty line. And by extension, that would go to the free world. Because why? Because the America people, not the American government, the American people, there's people that are needed for vision, but then there's people that need to push that vision forward. There's people that make that backbone, that make that energy, that make that just raw industrial power happen. Because no matter what the vision is, it's never going to happen without the action. And right now, what Simon and I are talking about is we both have these visions that now are going, well, he's already into action, and we're working on joining that team to really make a full connection, really a full ladder of where we are as a country to go. Because I've always talked about a utopia being possible on this earth. And I still believe, I've never not believed. It's not a big push. It's not anything. What it is the AI, we talked about earlier, when preparation meets opportunity, that's luck. When AI meets this, that's the future. That's where everything's going. Why do we need to have people in rural this town or that town have any struggles whatsoever? Why can't they then learn to become that next able person in corporate or in digital America? when it comes to living wherever you want to live in this beautiful country or this beautiful world we live in, and being able to just with the laptop be able to fix the other worlds, the other countries, world's problems that need to be solved. And here on Insights and Straight Talk, that's what we talk about. We talk about the needs of the great American middle class. And I'm Rodd Duff, and I'm the fuck out of here.
Before you leave, if you'd like to watch another one of the podcasts, click the first link in the description. We love having you here, and we appreciate all your support.
And with that, producer Barbie and I are out.